Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do in terms of interacting with GitHub is we're going to need to join a repository. In this particular case, I was the one creating the repository, so I can't show you how to join it. However, what I will say is that you will create a GitHub account. Just Google it, really easy to go through and do. And then once you do that, you'll tell whoever's created the repository your username, and they can go share it with you. And once they do so, then you'll have access to go and edit the repository. Now, the next thing we need to go through and do is once you're in the repository like we are here, is we kind of take a look around and you'll see that you can't really write code directly in here. Well, ultimately, you want to get it onto your computer where you normally write code, and that'll allow you to go do all kinds of different things and use IDEs and everything else that you normally do. But how do we get it from GitHub to your computer? Well, what we need to do is we need to download what's called basically a Git client. So that could be something like a command line tool. So there's, the Git package for, Mac and Linux. There's a program called Git Bash that works really well as a command line tool for Windows. Or you could download a graphical one. For example, I recommend GitHub Desktop because it's really straightforward to use and it obviously integrates really well with GitHub. Or I recommend Gitkraken as the other one because it's really powerful, but it's a bit more of a learning curve. So we're going to start on GitHub Desktop. So I've already gone through and downloaded it. If you Google GitHub Desktop, it'll walk you through. It's, again, really easy to go set up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to go get this code, basically, from GitHub to our computer. So how do we do that? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to GitHub Desktop here, and then we're going to head up to this file area and hit clone a repository. So when you clone a repository, what you're doing here is you're taking a copy from the server and you're basically creating a new local copy on your machine. So we can go through and we can go pick which project we want. In this case, we're going to grab CSI 3370 software project config test. And once you do that, you can choose where it goes. In this case, it's going to go into Documents GitHub, which is totally fine with me. And then you can hit clone. And so what it's doing behind the scenes is it's actually downloading all the code from the website onto your local machine. Now, if we go and head over to, if we head back to Documents, GitHub, and you can see you've got the CSI software project, and you can see all the same code that we could see from the web interface right over here. So that is the quick demo of how do you get something from your, basically the website, GitHub, to your machine. The one other thing I will say is if you are using command line, this is where you can go get the link basically to go copy and paste it for either HTTPS clone or SSH. Either one of those options you can go use if you are using like a command line tool.